We're on the red carpet for a special edition of The Bridge, sponsored by Tate Law Group. Get ready, The Bridge starts now. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a special edition of The Bridge on WSAV, sponsored by Tate Law Group. We're on the red carpet, and we're getting you in the holiday spirit. We're at the West End, and we're featuring Jeremy Davis and Clay Johnson and the fabulous Equinox Orchestra during their holiday concert, all benefiting the Empty Stocking Fund. So, let's get the party started.
They're really a nationally known band now. They're going to be playing in December in New York at the Rainbow Room at Rockefeller Center. And so we're really lucky to have them here with us tonight. And so let's welcome the fabulous Equinox Orchestra. On with the show.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Okay, we're still on the red carpet at the West End, the special holiday concert. And of course, we have one of the sponsors, our good friend Mark Tate of Tate Law Group. Hi, Mark, how are you?
Hey, good evening, and Merry Christmas, Natalie.
Merry Christmas to you, too. Now, you're sponsoring tonight's event. Now, Tate Law Group believes in giving. Now, why is this so important to you?
I think this is really important, because folks who unfortunately are living in poverty don't always have the chance to do nice things for their children during Christmas time. And, with all the pressures that they suffer anyway, we like to be able to enjoy and help them give, their children a nice Christmas. And the Empty Stocking Fund's been doing that for years and years. And so when Jeremy Davis got in touch with us and started talking about what we could do to help raise money for Empty Stocking Fund, we're proud to be a sponsor of this and bring the Equinox Orchestra here fresh off their tour of 8 weeks in 54 cities. And so it's going to be a wonderful night for them.
And every mother's child is gonna spy to see.
And guess who I caught up with? Angela Daniels. She is the Director of Sales at the Trade and Convention Center. We're so glad to have you on the show.
Natalie, it's great to be here, and I don't know if anyone knows, but I've only been here about 10 days. So.
Well, that's what I was told.
Yes.
I was told you were new to this area, and you know what? What do you think of Savannah?
I love it. We're living downtown on Oglethorpe, and we can walk everywhere. I actually can walk to work if I want and take the ferry, but everyone here is so nice, and the convention center, I'm so looking forward to being a part of the convention center and visit Savannah. And this destination is just so awesome.
And let me tell you, I've caught up with someone special. Now, he is actually with the fabulous Equinox Orchestra. Who do I have with me?
My name is Tommy Brinson. I'm Jeremy's music director.
The music director. So not only do we have somebody, we've caught up with somebody, we have somebody special. He knows all the plans tonight, right?
On paper.
Okay, so tell us, what is it like being with the fabulous Equinox Orchestra?
It's fantastic. We're just a group of musicians that enjoy bringing excitement and joy to people's life through music, and that makes it a lot more fun to be a part of the group.
But the energy and the entertainment value that you all bring to the table, it's amazing. Where do you get the energy from?
Well, I think one thing you have to remember is that everywhere you go, even though you've done the show, you've played this song 100 times, every time you go to a new city, that's somebody that paid money to come see you do what you do. So you're not allowed to get bored with the tune. Maybe sometimes there's an inside joke between us when a lyric comes up or a hit from the drum happens. But we're always just excited because we get to play for people. We get to play music for money. Like that's crazy.
Yeah,
right?
you get to do your favorite thing.
We pay our bills playing instruments. This is silly.
How to fly. So I am offering this simple phrase to kids from one.
You don't have to leave Savannah to have a great time during the holiday season. You also don't have to leave Savannah to find a great law firm. And so when we're able to bring, wonderful local talent to Savannah and sponsor a great thing like the Empty Stocking Fund, and that also runs with our theme of the firm that you don't have to leave Savannah to get the job done, we like to combine those things.
Merry Christmas to you.
play us out something into the holiday break? Okay, don't go away.
How about that?
I love it. Guess what? I used to play trumpet. Can you believe that?
Go for it.
Let me see if I can
I'll
do
take
this.
the mic.
Are you going to take the mic? Now you're going to do my
We're going to
part.
want this.
Okay, you're going to throw us out to the break, right? Okay.
And coming up next, you get to hear her play trumpet. There we
I'm
go.
giving my best shot.
Da da da. That was great.
Oh, wait, we'll be back right after this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Coastal Experts. Today, I'm so happy to have with me Erin Recius. She is a health psychologist expert with Hilton Head Health. Thanks so much for joining us, Erin.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I'm so glad that you're here because during this time of year, during the holiday time, we're thinking everything is uplifting and full of joy. But many times, it's not always like that. I mean, there's a lot of loneliness and a lot of downtime that comes during this time for some people. How does the topic of loneliness relate to a health retreat like Hilton Head Health?
Well, when it comes to creating a healthy lifestyle, it's more than just eating better and moving our bodies more. It's also about our mental and emotional well-being. And so when our mental state isn't thriving, you know, that's going to typically guide our health choices, which might not be the best choices for us. So when it comes to loneliness, and especially this time of year where it can be certainly amplified, you know, it can be really tricky ground, because with regard to this piece around feeling disconnected from others, it becomes a sense of how do we manage that during this time of year. And you know, we're certainly not alone. A lot of folks grapple with chronic loneliness. In fact, it's getting worse in this culture and around the world. But to give you an idea, in the 1980s, 20% of Americans would self-report around chronic loneliness.
Wow.
In 2016, that number has more than doubled. And so what medical experts are doing now is they're trying to urge this country to actually state chronic loneliness as a public health issue. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
And loneliness can affect anyone. What are some ways that loneliness can actually impact a person's life or their health?
Right. Well, so unfortunately, chronic loneliness has been linked to what is typically linked to obesity, smoking, alcohol addiction, which is premature aging and a shortened lifespan. So again, this has dire effects if it's left unaddressed. And on the other side of that is when it comes to the ways in which we cope with stress. So loneliness obviously can be a major source of stress. The ways in which we cope with our stress is also going to play a part. So one of my specialties at Hilton Head Health is I'm a relationship with food expert. So I help those who are grappling with emotional and binge overeating. And so when it comes to what we go to cope with what's up, such as emotional eating, often what I'll hear about in sessions at Hilton Head Health is that people are using food to fill a void, and it helps them to feel like they're with something rather than being alone.
You know, I can so relate to that even in my own life sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, Hilton Head Health, you guys do such a wonderful job. I mean, you really are the experts. What are some things that you offer at Hilton Head Health to deal with grief and loneliness?
Yeah. Well, you know, I always say that the community part of our program is one of the most impactful, yet unplanned parts of the program on behalf of program staff. But the camaraderie that happens among the guests in the community is so transforming, it's so healing. And the ways in which that they have those offside conversations with each other and the belly laughs maybe that they've had in the first time in a long time, especially for those who are dealing with grief and loneliness, it provides that sense of community connection, which is huge. Obviously, the other piece is it provides a safe space to come and actually work on their overall self-care that might have not been happening at home based on being in a survival mode with regard to that level of loneliness and grief that was being experienced.
Erin, do you have some suggestions on what people can do to help themselves if they are identifying or experiencing some of the things that you mentioned?
Yes. Reach out to somebody, even if it's just one person. Research shows that it's not the quantity of our connections as much as the quality of our connections. So even if we have just at least one person, whether it's a family member or a friend, that we can reach out to and talk to and not suffer alone. It feels counterintuitive to reach out when we're kind of being what I call cocooning and kind of going inward with our experience of being alone and isolated. But reaching out will be important. And if we don't have someone in our circle of trust world, such as a family and friend member that we want to go to, then a professional, a counselor, would be a great resource to tap into so that we can actually have someone who can support us through that. The other option is volunteering, getting out into the community. And research shows that helping others actually helps to reduce our own suffering. And it also gets us out and about. And so the other one that I typically recommend people check out is a website called meetup.com. And it's a great resource you put in your zip code and you can actually pull up interest groups in your area, anywhere from exercise and fitness groups to arts and crafts and activities to dining out, so that you don't have to do those activities alone. And then last but certainly not least is the steps towards self-care, being kind to ourselves when we're really struggling and suffering, not going to the false fixes like food or alcohol, but actually starting to move our bodies more, trying to eat better foods and those kinds of things. It goes a long way. It ends up clearing the cobwebs when it comes to feeling kind of rooted in stuck ways of living.
Bottom line, what I'm hearing is there is help available. And during this time of year, you want to feel good.
Yes.
And you can do that with help from Hilton Head Health. And you guys are the experts. Thanks so much for joining us, Erin. It's always great to see you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
If you have questions for Erin or any of our other coastal experts, all you have to do is go to the Coastal Experts page. That's at WSAV.com. Okay, everybody, guess what? We're still on the red carpet, and I've caught up with the two men of the hour, Jeremy Davis and Clay Johnson. Thank you guys for joining. I know. You're on the red carpet, WSAV The Bridge. We're so happy to have you with us. Now, Jeremy, this is a big night tonight.
It is. I want to say this is probably like maybe this 8th year we've done this show, I think. It's, you know, holiday seasons, it's always so much fun to be here at the Westin. And the Empty Stocking fundraiser is such a wonderful charity. We would do this show 3-4 times a year if they'd let us. So.
Now, Clay, I always wonder, there's so much energy with this show, and I've seen you guys perform so many times, and I go, where do they get their energy from? What do you guys do?
Well, we take hormones and. No, it's literally, I mean, the music is energizing in itself. I tell people when I sing in front of the band, it's like singing in front of a freight train because there's so much sound, so much energy, so many great musicians backing me up. You can't help but get excited and have a great time. And so that's it's easy for me to do that.
Now, you guys have been doing a lot of traveling.
We have. We wrapped up a 54-city national tour, 20,000 miles, Savannah to San Diego, back to New York, New Hampshire, Delaware, all the way back to Cody, Wyoming, and back home, all in the big tour bus. So that was exhausting. We never want to do that again, ever. I mean, you know, 8 weeks was too much.
You really get to know each other.
Exactly. If we each had our own
too close
bus.
for comfort.
If we had our own tour bus, it'd be one thing. But I mean, it was a blessing. Don't get me wrong. It was a blast. We did well financially. And it was an amazing experience. But it was just a lot. I mean, we're good with 2 weeks. We're good with 10 days. But being gone that long was just a bit more than we want to do. And we may do it again. But maybe we'll take off a smaller bite, 4 or 5 weeks.
You know, Clay, what can we look forward to during the concert? Can you touch on some things and tell us what we can look forward to during the concert?
Well, we've got a few new arrangements that we have. Austin Smith has done some great arrangements for the band, and we're excited to kind of debut those. Of course, holiday themed and Christmas themed. So, and we just love this time of year. I mean, we have such a good time reminiscing about Christmas as a child, and with our own kids now, we kind of get to celebrate that. And so there's going to be some surprises. I think you'll have a good time.
Now, you guys have become celebrities along with the orchestra in your own right. You've done a lot of traveling, a lot of big things coming up, but you always come home. And why is that important to you, to come back here to Savannah and really come home and enjoy and put on these fabulous concerts?
Sure. You know, we moved from Louisiana about 12 years ago on the day of Hurricane Katrina. So this has been home for a while. We love it here. Savannah has welcomed us. They treat us like one of their own. You know what I mean? So it's fun. I mean, we love it. We love being here, and there's not a lot of venues that you can bring a big band to, right? So we partner a lot here at the Westin, these beautiful ballrooms, and there's a couple places around town we'll stage the band on a Monday night or whatever. But it's always special being home. I mean, like tonight, there's so many people that we have not seen in months who follow every single thing that we do on social media. So it's going to be a blast. It's such an energizing thing to see all the people. They're excited, and they've been following all the tour, and they just want to hear the band. So
I was going to say, because you guys have the groupies, but you love Savannah.
We do, and what we didn't mention was that when we travel, we have people from Savannah who go with us, and we have people who go with us to New York City and go with us to Miami, Florida, or wherever we're playing, and they're just Savannah friends and family and people who come with us, and they're just kind of like part of the team. So it's very important for us to come back here, say thank you, and put on shows in our adopted hometown.
Yes, matter of fact,
sure.
Miss Jeannie, she's 87.
Wow.
We were in Delaware. And she's on the front row. You got to be kidding me. You know, and she's driven herself.
You can't forget her.
She's driven herself to New York in the middle of a snowstorm. She's driven herself to Miami, to Charleston. So yeah, it's amazing to see. And we have a big show in New York next month, January 15th, and there'll be Savannah people there, which is always special.
So what can we look forward to coming up this next year? Can you share with us a few things?
You know, well, we're leaving on Monday to go to Mexico, which is going to be amazing. We're doing a little bit more international stuff. We've opened a New York City office, which Clay is at the helm of.
That's right. I just moved my family up to New York City to live in the area, to run the office in New York City, and so it's been a big change for us to go from Savannah to New York. Yes,
Savannah to not mild northeast, but yeah, just more of the same. We're gonna keep pushing the envelope. We're gonna keep doing all all the local shows here in Savannah, and we'll probably do 2 or 3 more tours. We got stuff in Florida, we got stuff in Texas, we got stuff all over the country. So we'll be spreading out. We got a couple new CDs in the works, so that'll come 2018. We're working on everything from a children's album to a Christmas album to a new full-length CD. So we've got a lot of projects in the works.
It's also very important for us to focus on things that matter to us in terms of service to those in need and those who are poor and outcasts. So we've been doing some mission projects with the big band, traveling overseas, traveling to places that just kind of have a need, and so we're planning on doing more of that with the band this year as well.
And of course, you guys put on the wonderful shows in all of the places, and tonight you're doing it here in Savannah, but you could not do any of those things without the sponsors and the wonderful people coming together.
No, you're right. I mean, the sponsors make it happen, and tonight the show is sponsored by our friend Mark Tate. He is one of the go-to people for us. He has really helped us out with everything from our CD release show to one of the first big concerts we did on a Monday night here in Savannah, and he's great at what he does, and he's been a really good friend to us.
The hippest man in the whole city.
The snappiest dresser.
Nobody dresses like Mark Tate. It's amazing.
Nobody dresses like I think so. I totally agree with you guys.
Oh, it's the God's honest truth, right? And I'm a fairly snappy dresser.
I know.
But I'm not in the same.
Oh, I'm not. I watch him. I learn from his fashion, and I'm just trying to be like Mark.
He's the real deal.
We want to thank you guys for doing what you do. It only keeps getting better, and I can't wait to hear all of everything that you have coming up. Can you guys take us right into the break? Can you sing us something? Can you take us right into the break?
Play. How about Marshmallow World?
The bridge.
It's the Marshmallow World in the winter, when the snow falls cover the ground.
It's a whipped cream day. It's a time for play. I wait for it the whole year round. Those are marshmallow clouds getting friendly.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Jeremy Davis.
Everybody! I defy any cloud to appear in the sky. Dare any raindrop to plow in my eye. On a wonderful evening like this, only have eyes for you. Well, it's perfect for a flying honeymoon. Crying for my baby, and one more for the road. Funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks just stomping on a dream. Married in the morning, yes, staying down, they're gonna chime. Oh, that Dickinson on outdoor side. Oh, the thunder and the lightning. Yes, it. Let's drive down. Oh, drive down to New Orleans. sing. Go marching in. Go marching in. Home with the singing.
Okay, everybody, that's going to wrap it up for today's show, and we want to thank you for joining us. We'd also like to thank Tate Law Group for sponsoring our special holiday show on the bridge. Now, if you missed part of our show today, or if there's a story that you ever miss on the bridge, well, all you have to do is go to our website. That's WSAV.com. Under the show tab, just click on the bridge. You'll also find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You could always go to our email as well. That's thebridge@WSAV.com. Again, a big thank you to our good friends at Tate Law Group for sponsoring today's bridge. And as always, keep your eyes open. Our cameras are always out and about, and you never know when you might be joining us next on WSAV's The Bridge. Happy holidays from all of us here at WSAV.